Welcome to Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Grab a beverage of your choice because tonight we will be doing another edition of Frightful Fridays. And we will be reviewing Sleepaway Camp. This is a very underrated, as far as I know, 1980s slasher flick. In the vein of a lot of the 80s stuff, it's set, well, not a lot, but a few, at a camp where kids are sent away for the summer to enjoy themselves while their parents are off doing, parent things without their kids. This certain movie, in this particular movie, it starts out with a brother and sister. They're out on, young brother and sister, they're out on the lake with their father. And there's a person in a boat just going kind of crazy. And the brother and sister family, boat gets turned over and one of the kids gets killed. You don't see which. Gets killed. And then it jumps to a few years later where we have Angela, who is played by Felicia Rose. She is the surviving child of the accident, and she's living with her aunt and cousin, and Angela and her cousin are being sent off to summer sleepaway camp by their very, very, very odd mother/aunt, depending on who you're talking about. And when they get there, it's kind of odd. You got the couple of the cooks who are older people, a couple of guys who are in their 50s or 60s or whatever, and the crew, they're like the cooks, and the head cook is being very, very lascivious and lewd towards the younger girls in the group. So he's going to be getting it right away. And you have the teenage counselors who are running around, who are obviously played by actors who are not teenagers. And then you have the kids. So the first little bit is everyone getting, the setting up the situations. You're meeting everybody else. You have the two central characters, and then the boy cousin, I can't remember his name. He's been there before, so he is meeting all the different people he's meeting, and he's telling Angela about all these other people. And Angela is very, very reserved and shy, and just doesn't talk much, and doesn't want to do anything. You find out that she doesn't shower at the same time as all the other kids, girls, and she doesn't participate in any sports. She's just real quiet, and she starts to get bullied. And one of the first people to go after her is the cook. She gets in, she missed dinner or something like that, so the cook's like, yeah, let me take her back there and give her something, and then he's obviously trying to take care of, he's trying to get her, and her cousin stops just in time. And then a little later, he gets offed by a huge thing of water getting poured on him, and he gets boiled to death. So this is basically the gist of the movie. You're having all the goings on at the camp. You got the owner, who is just this real kind of creepy dude who all he's worried about is making the money and not getting the camp closed down, so he doesn't give a shit who his kids getting killed. You've got the male cousin going off and doing things, but still protecting Angela. You have Angela trying to not really dealing with the bullies, but just sitting there and taking it. And eventually, all these kids start to get killed, and you never see who does it. It's always just a hand doing the stabbing or doing whatever. And so you're trying to figure out who did it. And of course, they're obviously throwing suspicion towards different people, so you don't, who's doing it. And it's not a bad movie. I mean, the acting is not Oscar worthy, but it's not Tommy Wiseau either. I mean, a lot of the kids are the age that they play, and Felicia Rose, I think she was around 13 at the time, and that's the age she was supposed to be, and probably one of her first couple films. So, it's passable acting, especially for a movie like this. It's not, top tier and all that, but it was entertaining and just really fun to see, especially if you're old enough to remember the 80s like me and all the outfits that everyone's wearing, the 80s stuff. And as it moves towards the crescendo, all the more and more people are getting it, and then you see who does it at the end. And that is not really a surprise. I mean, you'll probably be able to figure out who the murderer was. But this does have a holy shit surprise moment at the end, which makes the whole movie worth it. Because you are not expecting this at all. At all. So yeah, I mean, I had to just got done rewatching it today because I'd seen it before. I just wanted to rewatch it before I did this review. It's pretty. I mean, you're sitting there being kind of entertained by all the different dialogue. You have one guy telling a kid, "Oh, eat shit and die," and the other guy replies, "Eat shit and live." And you have the typical characters, the uber mean bitches and the jock guys and the counselor who cares and all that stuff. And then the two central characters. It's a fun movie to watch for what it is. Just a summer slasher. Not everybody, but a lot of people die movie. But the surprise at the end really, really does it. And that makes the whole movie worth even more watching it. So, yeah, I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 just for the sheer entertainment of it. And the surprise at the end. That was worth it, and it made it a whole hell of a lot more creepy. So I am going to say 4 out of 5. Recommended if you're into slasher movies, especially 80s slasher movies. And say check it out. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. If you watched it, like, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy your horror movies.